Hello there, time for another one of my video reviews. Today I'm going to be looking at this book here called Sunstone, and it's a lovely sort of like thick hardcover, and this collects the first 3 volumes of the Sunstone story. There are currently 5 published volumes, and it is. I'm going to start, I think, by reading sort of like the opening panels of this particular book. It's these ones here, just because it gives a a good basic outline, possibly better than I will go into. I've done quite a few takes of this video already, and just getting it through it and condensing it is proving quite hard, because this is a very rich book, very, very rich. Okay, I really should stop doing that. So, here we are. Just write the damn thing, they said. You can do it. Fantasy is easy. You start with some war or prophecy and you're off. Now, how do I start this thing? They all agreed I should write it. Hell, they pestered me to do it. No end, with their retelling of their own version of events, meticulously filling in the gaps of each other's stories. They were even fine with me using their own names. Yeah, I'll probably change that bit though. So start. This is a love story about 2 BDSM loving girls. Oh yeah, that will bring in a certain crowd. But that really is the problem. How do I even write this? I mean, on some level, it's a sexually charged story, but it's also a story of human nature. We are all, to some extent, weird, unbalanced, a little bit insane and stupid. Oh boy. And we are capable of some being mind-numbingly stupid. In short, all the traits that we try to keep hidden behind our everyday smiles. So what is this about then? I mean, technically it's not even a story. There's no plot to it, just stuff we did. Heh, maybe if I invented a villain? Professor Shackles? Countess Melissa Whiplash? But that's just it. There are no villains. Very few twists. It's just my life. A story of how I changed. And the hardest thing is to start. Where do I even begin? Now, yes, this is a story that deals very, very openly, very clearly. It's got fetish in it. It's got plenty of sex, and this is beautifully drawn. And the actual love affair is between 2 ladies, and there are many acts. There's rope bondage. There's various types of fetish that are explored within this particular tome. But to truly appreciate this book, you've got to put all that aside, because as it says in the opening, this is a story that deals very much with human nature and trust and depth of feeling, and how relationships just grow and how they change the people within them. And also sort of like about what roles actually mean within this sort of like, because you have doms that have got this sort of like big, powerful sort of like persona and thing that they put on, and subs, which are sort of like the submissives of a relationship. But that doesn't necessarily define the relationship, a relationship between 2 people. This is something that happens within the story and within the community, and I've had some experience within the fetish community, and it's so much of this rings true, and in some ways it's stuff that I wish I'd learned a lot earlier. There's a lot of great insights and things about these relationships and the experimentation that goes on, and just how these things can grow and complete people. But all that aside, this is a book about how two people find each other and find a way to complete each other. And it's just beautifully told. It's wonderfully written. The relationships are just so true and so real. It's for adults. This is the book for adults. It's a book about adult relationships. It's about how people discover aspects of themselves. It's so raw, true, unbelievably tender, and beautifully illustrated. And the expressions and the characters and the artwork is it's incomparable. I mean, the guy who's written and done the artwork, Stjepan Sejic, is masterful in terms of what he's done. It's just, they are so beautiful, the panels, and this is a love story in so many ways, and it feels deeply personal to me because I've had certain aspects of this just that I've explored, but this is just a beautiful book. And yes, it deals with fetish, and yes, it deals with BDSM, but as it says in the opening, it deals with human nature, and it deserves to be written, and it deserves to be read, and it deserves to be loved for the truth that it tells. It's fantastic. I love it to bits. I really, really do. And there's so much to say about this that I can't really condense it very well down into a single video review. But forget your 50 grades of crap. This is, if you want to learn a little bit and have a taster of what it might be like to go into or look at that lifestyle and what it might mean, this is a much better expression of that scene and environment. But as long as you're comfortable with the subject matter, it's also a touching and tender love story between people and various relationships, and the humor and the love, and it's just real. It's a relationship unfolding between two people who find a way to complete each other. Read this book, love it. I can't recommend it enough, but it's adult, and walk into it with open eyes as to what it is, but also don't close your eyes to what it isn't. It's not a sex book. It has plenty of sex in it, but that's not its defining characteristic. It's diverse, it's challenging, it's in some ways my heart on a page. It's something I love very deeply and very keenly, and it's not an easy thing necessarily for me to talk about in a review, but I can't recommend it enough because it's lovely. I hope that you check it out. I hope that you read it, and I hope you love it as much as I do. Thank you so much for stopping by today.